Little music there from CKM Music to start our night off. And I want you in slow motion all the time. Once again, CKM Music, our lead in for the night. And thank you for clicking on. Let me get rid of this because I have a whole bunch of stuff up. It's going to be a big show tonight. Of course, we have... hang on a second here. There we go. We have GA from CA and Cunning Stunt are going to be on later. Hello, California Cam. That's a relatively new track from CKM. ACB, how are you? Star Fox, LePreux, good evening, good vibes. Hello, VG. Judy Davis, good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Watching people win or fail. Lori Arnold, She-Hawk, and Jungle Jane. Hello. Thank you all for being here. Quite a day, and we'll talk about that coming up. I want to start out by addressing something, okay? Something happened to someone in the YouTube community that we all find ourselves a part of. Some of us a lot more than others. That being said, from this I know is the person I'm referring to, and there's been a misunderstanding going on for quite a period of time. I wasn't aware of it until today. And a brief recap. She came on the show, and as we do, I was focused on her and listening to her and not paying attention to the chat. She was focused on the conversation as well, not paying attention to the chat. Something happened. She got doxxed, and rightly so, was very upset about it. She had sent me a message on Twitter that it was a possibility that it might happen, okay? I didn't see the message on Twitter until today. The only thing I was going off of was the conversations we had on email, because I don't do Twitter, not like that. I go on Twitter and I do the news stories. So I owe a very big apology to From This I Know, for not only her getting doxxed in my channel that night a couple of months back, but also from not being aware of it up until today. I wasn't aware that there was a problem, and I apologize for that. I apologize for whatever you've gone through from that point until this, and now it's time to start the show. Hi, Sandy, Macaulay. You missed the beginning. We played a little bit of CKM music. Peace, love, and unity. Hello. Um, yeah, Lori, when Lori and I shared some texts today, okay, and at that time I had not seen the correspondence from This I Know on Twitter, and I apologize. I'm sorry. Okay. Um, Monday night, Lori's in here. Monday night, Lori and Telescope and I had a conversation. If you haven't seen that episode, I recommend you go back and watch it. Now, I did not say this to either one of them at the time. I think they both knew it, but the purpose from my view of that conversation between the three of us was to show that people in different places spiritually, if you will, can talk to each other. They don't have to yell at each other. They don't have to call each other names. And one of the biggest hurdles we have, one of the most divisive things in our country, is religion. So I wanted to kind of show with just one episode, just a starting point, that it's okay to discuss the differences. It's okay to accept the differences. And we don't need to be constantly searching for common ground. The common ground is that we're all Americans and we should want the best for America, for ourselves, our children, our grandchildren, and our posterity. Okay. Tuesday night, we did the State of the Union last night, and I would recommend going back and watching the end of that, where we had some questions and we did a little bit of analysis. If you've already seen the State of the Union, no need watching that part of the episode. I pretty much stayed out of it. I treated it as if I was a paid reporter from mainstream media, and I observed the event and made notations. So there's that. And then tonight, of course, GA and Cunning are going to be on. And tomorrow night, I'm going to have a special guest, a longtime and dear friend of mine and bandmate. We're just going to refer to him as Melvis. He's born on the same day as Elvis, and his name's Mel. And so he's always been Melvis, and that's what it's just what I call him. Not me. A lot of people call him that. But anyway, he's going to be on tomorrow night with me. So unless there's some incredibly important breaking news, tomorrow night's episode is going to be set up a little bit different in that we're just, we're going to start out. There's going to be a guest on here, and we're just going to start talking about some things. Specifically, we'll talk about the Super Bowl a little bit at the end because we're both football guys, and we'll talk about some other things. But what we're specifically going to focus on is a rock festival that happened shortly after Woodstock, and that hardly anybody knows about. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow night. The reason we're going to talk about it is because he was there, and we'll show. I've got some footage. We'll show some footage of the festival. We'll find out what, if anything, he remembers, and and he's hilarious. He's a real funny dude. So that's what's coming up the rest of this week. Next week, Monday night, I'm not sure yet. I'm working on trying to get another situation similar to what we had with Telescope and Lori. I'm trying to get a couple of people on to have a conversation on Monday. On Tuesday is going to be Valentine's Day next week. So I don't know. I'm going to ask Georgia and Cunning when they come up if they can come on Tuesday. If they've got Valentine's Day plans, then we'll have them on Thursday, because next Wednesday, the 15th, Corinne IRT, also known as Corinne Uncensored, the absolute most censored woman on the internet, is going to be live here with us. And we're going to also start that at 9 p.m. Next Wednesday night. We'll have a special start time at 9 p.m. So that's going to be happening next Wednesday night. Just texted with Corinne a few minutes ago, and she wants to be called Corinne IRT or Corinne Uncensored. She uses both for her branding. So that's what we'll be doing next Wednesday night. Honestly, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I really not. It could be a 5-minute interview. It could be a 5-hour interview. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, but who knows? We'll see what happens. And then next Thursday of next week, we'll either have the ladies on, or we'll be doing game night. So that's what's coming up. Looking ahead. All that being said, I got a bunch of stuff to get to, so let's get to it so we can get the ladies up here. Again, last night we did the State of the Union, and if you did watch that episode, you know one of the things I said was fact checking, and CNN. The reason I'm using CNN is because the other sites are behind paywalls. Fact checking some of the claims from President Biden. In the last 2 years, my administration has cut the deficit by more than 1.7 trillion, the largest deficit reduction in American history. Biden's boast leaves out important context. It is true that the federal deficit fell by 1.7 trillion under Biden in 21 and 22 fiscal years, including a record 1.4 trillion drop. But it is highly questionable how much credit Biden deserves for this reduction. Biden did not mention that the primary reason the deficit fell so substantially was that it had skyrocketed to a record high under then President Trump because of bipartisan emergency pandemic relief spending, then fell as expected when the spending expired as planned. Independent analysis say Biden's own actions, including his laws and executive orders, have had the overall effect of adding to current and projected future deficits, not reducing those deficits. Okay. And again, you can read, and I highly recommend you do. You can read the whole thing. I just want to get to the points. Additionally, over the last 2 years, a record 10 million Americans applied to start a new business. Facts. This is true. There were 5.4 million business applications in 2021, the highest number since 2005, and about 5.1 in 2022. Not every application turns into a real business, but the number of high propensity business applications, those deemed to have a high likelihood of success, also hit a record in 2021. Pardon me. And saw its second highest total in 2022. Former President Trump's last full year in office also set a then record for total and high propensity applications. There are various reasons for the pandemic era boom in entrepreneurship, which began after millions of Americans lost their jobs in early 2020. Among them, some newly unemployed workers seized the moment to start their own enterprises. Americans had extra money from stimulus bills signed by Trump and Biden. Interest rates were particularly low until a series of rate hikes began in the spring of 2022. Now, the unemployment among demographic groups, the claim was near record low unemployment for Black and Hispanic workers. Biden's claims are accurate. The Black or African American unemployment rate was 5.4 in January 2023, just above the record low of 5.3 set in August 2019. The data goes back to 1972. Hispanic or Latino employment rate was 4.5, and not too far from the record low of 4 set in September. So those things appear to be true. Trump, hold on, because this is a key one. Trump and the national debt. Nearly 25% of the entire national debt, a debt that took 200 years to accumulate, was added by just one administration alone, the last one. And this is one of the when the booze came out and everything, and the heckling. Biden's claim is correct. The national debt, now more than $31 trillion, increased by just under $8 trillion during Trump's 4 years in office. So 8 trillion into 31 trillion, 8 times 4, it's not quite 25%, is it? But close. What's a trillion? In part because of Trump's major tax cuts. It's important to note, though, that some of the increase in debt during the Trump era was because of the trillions in emergency COVID-19 pandemic relief. And the national debt spiked in the first half of 2020, increasing gradually during Trump's first 3 years, and is because of spending required by safety net programs that were created by previous presidents. Significant amount of spending under any president is the result of decisions made by their predecessors. Okay, so as we do, we're just giving you things to think about, not telling you what to think or how to think. We're checking some facts, and this is the last one. The quote is, that's going to come from companies that have announced more than $300 billion investment in American manufacturing over the next few years. Having ran for Congress, and my catchphrase being NAFTA, CAFTA, how much more of the shafta is the American worker going to have to take until we say enough? Paying attention to American manufacturing now is something I'm always skeptical of. Biden's prediction about future job creation is obviously beyond the scope of fact check, but his claim about companies having announced $300 billion in manufacturing investments during his presidency is accurate. The White House provided CNN with a list of these publicly announced investments. It's worth noting that companies sometimes end up investing less than they initially announce. And sometimes the government gives money to people that announce they're starting a business, and the people disappear. The majority of manufacturing investments that have been publicly announced under Biden to date have been investments in semiconductor facilities. That's a smart move. The Biden administration has emphasized the importance of U.S. semiconductor manufacturing. Biden signed a bill in August that has helped to generate major investment. So there you go. A brief and really brief fact check of what President Biden said in his State of the Union address last night. So with that being said, I'm going to keep hopping along here. Hop. And I'm just going to jump to Twitter for the bookmarks. And then this is American Doofus on Twitter. Okay, this isn't the American Doofus what was it? American Doofus channel on YT, I think was the other channel, but I can still access that on the old computer. Um, Twitter wouldn't let me access the account here, so I had to go to the American Doofus channel, or the American Doofus Twitter setup that Kay set up 3 years ago that was supposed to be for merchandising. Anyway, here we go. Here is our Twitter scroll from Adam Kinzinger. I get it. The knee-jerk reaction is to love or hate POTUS speech based on your politics. That's very true. And it's to be expected. And so I know they're going to, I forgot to address this. So let me address it now. I got some messages that, when I said I didn't agree that the State of the Union is strong. And I got some messages, how can you say that? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. He has to say that. Okay. The president can't say, look, the guy that was in the office before is running around claiming he's still running things. And there are people that still believe he's in charge of half of the army and he's making the, when all that's going on, I can't personally say the State of the Union is strong. That's just my analysis. So that answers all of you that commented on that. And a reminder is to love or hate it based upon your politics. I try not to do that. I try to give real, honest, straight down the middle analysis of what we're seeing. Now, he goes on to say, without a doubt, Biden absolutely crushed the GOP, quote, dumb yellers, end quote, masterfully. Every president will try to recreate and fail, but I mourn the loss of decorum by the GOP. And again, that's Adam Kinzinger, former congressman, probably will be on the primary ballots to run for president in 2024 in hopes of getting a vice presidential nod or even a cabinet post, as Pete Buttigieg did. That's what I think Adam's trying to do, and he's a smart young man, Republican. He also said Joe Biden sparring with the crowd and winning wasn't something I expected. It wasn't something I expected either. Now, to be clear, it wasn't just the Republicans yelling. Okay, I've got a couple of pictures of Marjorie Taylor Greene coming up, but it wasn't just the Republicans yelling. The Republicans were yelling. The Democrats were yelling at the Republicans for yelling at the. It's like trolls in Congress. Trolls. We're not supposed to have trolls in Congress. And Twitter is a prime example of politicians trolling. Instead of reading bills and doing, we're supposed to send our best and our brightest to Congress. Okay? We're failing. Just saying, we're failing. We're not sending our best and our brightest to Congress. A lot of times we're sending trolls. Now, I before you tear my channel down, trolls, I understand your focus, your function, all right? And generally it's stopping things. Trolls are known for stopping things. You go back to Billy Goat Gruff, and the troll was about making sure nobody got over the bridge without paying a toll. Trolls have a purpose, but I don't think it's in Congress. That's a personal thought. That's not, that is an opinion, not a fact. Okay, let's run along here. Senator Mitt Romney said to George Santos right here, this is Romney, this is Santos. Romney said, you don't belong here, according to a member who witnessed the tense exchange. So let's see if we can hear it. Crap. There we go. Let's see if we can hear it here. Can't hear him, but I can read lips. Let's go back to the start of that. You're an embarrassment. You don't belong here. You're an embarrassment. You hear me? All righty. There we go. That was my lip reading anyway. Not necessarily accurate, but I imagine when the transcripts come out, as they will, it's liable to be pretty close. Don Jr. says Biden stole all his dad's ideas. Hang on. Why is this not? There we go. Junior says Biden stole all his dad's ideas in his speech last night. I'm not going to play the volume. I just want you to watch the incredible amount of energy that is coming out of this individual. And I don't know, maybe when people ask, where's Hunter Biden? Where's Hunter Biden? Maybe him and Don Jr. get together and do a bunch of hard drugs. I don't know, something to think about. All right. Tucker's going to be jealous. Meanwhile, on Russian TV, Marjorie Taylor Greene was explaining the Chinese spy balloon to Russian media. Just so you can get a close-up look there. All right. I'm getting better with this touchy thing. Not good. DeSantis announces he will be taking over the Disney World area. Quote, there's a new sheriff in town, and that's just the way it's going to be. End quote. According to a seasoned investigative journalist, the CIA carried out the clandestine operation that the White House ordered to attack the Nord Stream gas pipeline. U.S. bombed the Nord Stream gas pipeline, according to an investigative journalist. This is pretty significant news. If this proves to be true, and this comes from the Times out of the United Kingdom. It was the United Kingdom that was originally thought to be the one responsible for blowing up that gas pipeline in the Baltic. And then it was Ukrainian special forces. But according to an investigative journalist, it could be the United States, which, if proven to be true, it's going to be a whole new ball game. Just so everybody's aware, something to think about. And breaking news coming out of the mainstream. Hope fading as death in Turkey and Syria quake near 12,000. That was 5 hours ago. It's up to pretty close to 15 now. Biden brings his battle with Republicans on the road after a contentious State of the Union. According to CNN, Fox News, China has a lot of explaining to do after spy flights found violating sovereignty on 5 continents. Now that the Department of Defense is looking for balloons, they're finding them everywhere. Again, just something to think about. 5 takeaways from the House GOP hearing with former Twitter executives, and that's going on today. Has been going on for a couple of days. The Oversight Committee. Oh crap! It's a New York Times. Yeah. See, we can't do anything behind that paywall. From the Hill, what Republicans actually said about cuts to Social Security and Medicare, which they have said they were cutting them. And again, that includes Mike Pence. You can look it up. The commercial appeal, Memphis police officers were deceitful in the Tyre Nichols beatings. And as we reported last night, actually, an officer sent five different people photos from the scene. NPR headline: Woodpeckers went nuts, stashing 700 pounds of acorns in the wall of a California house. And that's those are the headlines from the mainstream. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stories we're going to run through real quick in just a minute. I just want to hop over and say hey to the chat. Troll Central, how are you? Granny Sue, good to see you. Noel's Gig, what's going on? Al Munson. Al, you might like tomorrow night's show. We're going to be taking a look at a rock festival that very few people know about. Hello, Mater. Was that Sassy? Yeah, there's Sassy Pants. Hi, Lolo. I don't know if Lolo's here. I see people saying hi to Lolo. GA and Stunning are here, so let me buzz through these 7 stories really quickly. I talk about prepare. Don't get paranoid, but prepare. Whatever that means to you. If it means storing some water up, if it means storing some food, whatever it means. Attacks on the U.S. elect. I don't know why this went off on me. Attacks. Here we go. I ran through these ads and had them erased and ready to play this. Attacks on the U.S. electrical grid involve credible specific plans, Homeland Security warns. So if you're around, I'd like to say if it's, it just keeps popping ads up. I'm sorry. We'll go on to the next. I'd like to say if you're around of course it pops up now. Let's see if I can do this. I'd like to say if you're around a major city, be aware, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be, we had this story the other night about the couple, the neo-Nazi leader and his partner that wanted to anyway, totally destroy Baltimore. And here's that brief 1-minute story.
United States and Canada provide, a highly reliable electrical system. But that being said, the grid is susceptible to cyber and physical security risks. When you look at the volume, pace, the complexity of all those cyber threats, and understanding how they could potentially impact the grid, that's a tough thing to keep up with. The recent incidents have identified that these attacks first of all, they've occurred in different parts of the country. It doesn't necessarily seem to be a rhyme or reason regarding where they occurred. It was more what the attacker wanted to do. I think that could happen any place where there's an asset that could be compromised.
And again, that comes from, as you can see, USA Today. I'm pretty certain YouTube went down today for a brief amount of time. I don't have a source other than the fact that my YouTube page was white for an extended period of time. Infiltrators, all by design. Antifa, obviously. Too many crazies out there. Are some of the opinions in some of the opinions of chat. Second story, secret Russian satellite has broken apart in orbit and creating a cloud of debris that could last a century, and some of the bigger parts could be falling towards Earth. It was launched secretly, made suspicious maneuvers to complete a mysterious mission. So a lot of things go on that, we aren't particularly aware of. One of those things that we've become a little more aware of is Chinese spy balloons. And we touched on it on the headline, but China has a global spy balloon operation collecting intel on other countries' militaries, including strategic bases in the U.S., officials say. And here's a look at them pulling up some of the balloon off the coast of Myrtle Beach. It's part of a global network, U.S. officials say. System gathers intelligence on other countries' militaries for possible conflict or high tension. Here's the official report. Stealth F-22 Raptor fired a single air-to-air missile at the Chinese balloon off the coast of South Carolina on Saturday after the surveillance asset spent the previous days floating southeast across the continental United States. Again, as we said on here the other night, the code name of that mission was Frank, and it was in honor of a World War I ace who shot down, I think it was 17 or 19 German spy balloons in World War I. Now, I also have to remind you that when we first entered the nuclear age, we dropped the first test bombs at Los Alamos. We also did testing in the ocean later on, but the initial tests, the first flights of nuclear weaponry were in balloons. We used balloons with a nuke inside it, and tested, and just a small nuke at a high level puts out an electromagnetic pulse that is devastating below it. Okay, so just something to think about. And okay, we got it. Marjorie Taylor Greene wore a $490 alpaca wool coat to the State of the Union to highlight the Chinese spy balloon. There we go. Trolls in Congress. Again, back to China. China weighs in on the war in Ukraine, pushing Europe to stop trying to get Kyiv a complete victory over Russia. So at the moment, it appears China seems to think that Ukraine is winning, and they're trying to get them to stop before they completely win. I don't know. That's at least one way to interpret what they just said. Just like, did Biden really bait the Republicans into saying that they will not touch Social Security or Medicare? Sure seemed like he did, but we'll have to find out. And still in the Russian and Chinese phase of things, this is one of Putin's right-hand men. And for some reason, there we go. He warns that the war will continue throughout Europe, and we'll be starting with England. So, again, saber rattling as always, but we've got to report on it and let you know what's happening. And one final thing real quick before we get the girls up here. Donald Trump is starting to look completely desperate, according to this story. Donald Trump and his latest salvo at the Florida governor and likely future primary opponent implied that Governor Ron Santos acted inappropriately during his stint as a private school teacher in the early 2000s. Pedophilia. All right. again, just something to think about as we often do. That's what we do. We give you something to think about, give you things to think about, give you things to discuss, things to talk about. Don't tell you how to think or what to think. Just, there are some things that, I mean, pedophiles, come on. I'm hoping that that's one thing that at least a vast majority of us would agree is wrong. I can't even believe I'd even have to make that kind of statement. There's the link for the ladies for Georgia and Cunning, and we'll get up here and we'll talk about all the stuff we've been talking about here, the State of the Union. Donald Trump can't spell stolen. Yeah, they were making fun of something about bread or something. All right, here we go. GA from CA, hello. I can't hear you. I've got good volume here.
Oh, got it. Sorry, it was me. It was me. Boomer Tifa.
I'm going to have to start wearing Depends on Wednesday nights because you're scaring the crap out of me.
I'm so sorry. I am. I'm so sorry.
No. Well, wait a second here. I don't know where Cunning's at.
Well, I know what she's up to. Come on, girl.
Oh, okay. All right.
Put down that pen. Put down the pen.
Mentally prepared.
Yes, I have my, I'm drinking my peppermint hot chocolate coffee. I am crocheting a dress as we speak. Oh, sorry. Am I too loud, Sassy? I'll turn it down. No? Okay.
No, you just startled everybody. When
gotcha.
There was no sound, then all of a sudden,
Oh, sorry. I tend to do that. You know what? You want to hear something really sad? Oh, there she is. When I was listening to you talk earlier, I pulled up my camera and thought, I wonder if I can get an angle that I would be willing to show on this show tonight, and immediately flipped the camera around to me and went, nope, not happening. Not looking half as good as I feel.
Maybe at some point.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Hi, Cunning.
Hey, y'all.
How are you?
I am. I'm good. It's been it's been an odd day, How
have your ladies' day been? Anything happened today?
Well, if you want to ask us what we were going to talk about today, we kind of decided. Hi, Summer. We kind of decided that there's literally nothing going on in the 1776 world, and if there were, we didn't want to talk about it anyway. There's all kinds of peripheral stuff going on, and it doesn't change really from day to day. But we kind of had a thought, and this could work if you're up for it, DUFUS, and if the chat could promise to be adults and not seventh graders. We were kind of thinking maybe we would talk about what went on today and answer some questions.
I thought you were going to want to bounce my pickle off the ground again like last week. So
no, that's next week for Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, Tuesday, we'll bounce your pickle.
Oh my God.
We ought to have Valentine's Day. We ought to have the bathtub episode where
you go for it. We'll throw heart candies at you. We'll throw heart candies at you while you're in the bubble bath.
And rose petals.
I'm up for it. And Mater says, good idea, ladies.
Well, we were just kind of thinking that there was so much You know,
One for bouncing DUFUS's pickle. Telescope.
you know, if there are any questions,
And again, we're talking about being adult. We're talking
yeah,
about,
yeah,
you know,
having a
yeah,
conversation.
yeah. It's not gonna
Well,
be
I
slam dip
guess
into of ants. It's not
no,
going,
and I
you
guess
right.
know.
You
I
know,
guess I guess we could start. I will start out by saying, it was a weird day. Um, I'm kind of my reactions to days like today are different from Cunning's. Um, I get really apathetic or I shut down. I go, whatever. I don't care. Um, and so my initial reaction, and do I need to tell people what went on today in case people in the chat don't know? So,
There might be some people that don't know. And before you start, I want to say, Summer, I'm glad to see you on here. I know you've been having some medical problems, and I'm hoping you're okay. So
um,
what?
today,
Because
today,
I'm not really sure what happened. I just kind of pieced it together.
today, Ant asserted his right to block people from his chat, to disassociate people from his chat that he was not happy with. Um, that's about as far as I'm going to go with, because I'm not going to speak for him.
Right.
So there was some talk about being on specific other channels. There was, and it was done very quickly. It was done real time, as I was expressing sympathy about what his mom is going through right now. I was immediately blocked, and so I got off the live and went about my day. Um, what stirred things up more was most of us were in Vaughn's chat after that, and Ant came in, and it didn't go well. It devolved quickly. There were trolls in there. There was red restreaming. There was everybody who doesn't like Ant rejoicing that he had hurt us or upset us or made us mad or dropped his grannies, whatever they want to call it. And it just evolved into something really gross, which is why I said at the top of this was, we can talk about it if people want to be grown-ups. And
Right.
what I would like, and Cunning, I'll let you give your perspective on this too, but what I would like to see is people asking questions of us in the chat, the three of
Well,
us, because you were brought into this conversation as well, and I understand you addressed it at the top. I missed that, but I did catch the very end of it. So yeah, Cunning,
yes.
do you want to give your perspective on
Um,
today?
yeah, I mean, what you said, absolutely, like all of it. And um, I realize this is a public forum, and
Yep.
it's putting it out there, but understand that this all was brought out today in a public way,
Right.
and then went to another public, live stream, and you know I want to say that I I support his right to feel how he does and decide to do what he does with his channel. And I'm not angry, it, except I would have preferred to have a chance to, respond and talk about it.
Or talk about it
So,
privately first.
yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. But, that's his decision.
And that's
I
anybody.
mean, that's
That's
fine.
Doofus's decision. That's Telescope and Jeff. That's anybody. Celtic Mutt, anybody, Summer, anybody that has their own channel.
Vaughn,
That's
yeah,
your right to
exactly.
do with it what you will. And I don't harbor any ill feelings either. I'm surprised, but that's just because I'm a little naive for my age. So, anybody in
Okay.
chat? Oh, and Vaughn did do well today. Vaughn helped us. Listening to Vaughn today helped a lot.
You know,
And
Vaughn has really. Oh, sorry. Go
no,
ahead.
I just want to make it public that Ant was invited on the show multiple times to, and you know, it wouldn't have been a hijack, it wouldn't have been a backstab, it would have been a conversation and airing things out. And if he wants to do that in the future, I'll certainly make time for that. But
Right.
I think with the, you know, we've got the chat has an important resource at the moment because you two were involved in all of this. So it's not like there's any secondhand information. It's not like, oh, I heard this in somebody's chat. You two were there for everything. So if people want to ask, you're going to ask your questions now because these ladies know.
And you know what? Ask it now because I'm not talking about it again. It's not
right.
It's just
you know, last week we didn't talk about 1776 at all, except for peripheral joking here and there, you know?
Yeah. And it was great. It was fun.
Yeah. And it's obvious we're going to keep doing that. So this is, if you want answers, now's the time, because none of us are going to be, you know, this is, Ant made a decision. It's his right to make a decision. He does what he wants.
Yep.
And that's Ant's business. And the three of us anyway, are going to leave it at that.
Yep.
After tonight.
Exactly.
Susan Knox has a question, but that it's not really a question. That's an opinion, Susan. And I'm not going to speak on that.
Okay.
That doesn't have anything to do with today.
It's
about Ant's interview with Sabrina, and I'm.
Oh, that's not about today.
Part of this issue.
Yeah. Curtis Caldwell asks, ask the ladies what might have brought this all on.
You want me to take that, Cunning, or you want to take it?
You can take it, and I'd actually like to. Oh, if y'all don't mind, like at the risk of going backwards, I would like to address what Susan said, just with my opinion, because you know, But let's answer Curtis's first, because he gives me really good links on Twitter to share. Sorry, Susan.
I don't know what made Ant decide now was the time to do this. What I understand was that some of us were in other chats, on panels, not on panels, talking here and there. And those channels were people that had made derogatory remarks about him, and he didn't want to associate with those channels or anybody that would go in those channels.
Okay.
And I think that also, you know, it's been building, like you know, there's been a lot of stuff said and back and forth, and a lot of bad, awful things threatened to a lot of people, and you know, it's been a lot of people have been going to Telescope's channel and chat because it's different. It's different than what Ant does. You know, like I go, and I was allowed to get up on panel and face Wizzy and actually say how I felt to him. And that was so huge for me. It was big, like, it was
And that
personal,
wouldn't
you
have
know.
happened. And that wouldn't have
Right.
happened had you not been up on another platform.
Exactly. Exactly. I would never have had that chance on his or on Wizzy's or 76's or Ants or Vaughn's. You know, it's they do something totally different, and of course we know how the 76ers are. So it, and it's things like that, and I think I don't even know what I'm trying to get it to say here. Sorry.
No, it's okay. And now you want to go back to Susan's, and then we've got a question from Spoon for GA. You want
Oh,
Cunning?
awesome. Okay.
You wanted to address what Susan had said.
Yeah, yeah. She said, I was so surprised at so many women who made excuses for the Sabrina interview. I found it impossibly exploitive and vengeful for his own gain. And she said, I felt the women's supporters' silence was wrong. So, Susan, I kind of felt that way too at first when I heard him talking about the upcoming interview and was concerned a little. But what happened for me was as I listened to Sabrina speak and talk, and I saw and felt that, and I heard her say that she wanted this. And what I heard and saw was her talking about all of her abuse and her story and, you know, what happened to her, all of it, not just about Red or in
Right,
that, but everything
right.
else that led up to it. And what I felt in the end watching it from her, nobody else, but from her, looking into her eyes and hearing her story, and then seeing her in chat afterwards, and she said over and over that she wanted to tell it, and
She wanted to badly. She really, it was time for her. She asked him if she could do it. He didn't, chase her. She thanked him repeatedly in the chat afterwards, in the days afterwards. It was time for her to get out what she needed to say. Unfortunately, the lead up, which a lot of people found offensive, and the first half hour, he started streaming when it was the three of them, her aunt and Sabrina, in the hotel room, kind of pre-gaming, and the aunt was a little intoxicated. And the plan always was for Aunt and Sabrina to go off to go downstairs to the lobby area. They had a room that they could go to and have the discussion privately, which that's what they ended up doing. A lot of people saw just the beginning with the drunk aunt,
And got horrified
AUNT, and
and immediately stopped watching.
assumed that that's what it was going to be, and it was horrible. It
Okay.
was cringeworthy. I couldn't watch it.
I
right.
haven't. I'm sitting here nodding but I haven't seen it. I have no opinion. I'm just agreeing that I'm understanding what you ladies are saying, but I don't have
Well,
any knowledge of that incident at all.
Right.
for
And
me,
again,
for
that
me, in the end, what mattered was um, a survivor getting to do that part of a therapeutic, like
Yeah, I understand that.
exactly.
I know that every time I've which hasn't been many times, but every time I've ever spoken about what happened to me, it was freeing, and she needed that. So whatever else happened around it, I know that everyone is different, every survivor is different in situation, and if that's how she needed to do it, then I support her. I support her in whatever will help her. So that's
And thank you for taking the time to address that and addressing it in the way, because I was blowing over it. I was going to blow it off, and
well, yeah. I mean, it's not
thank
really
you
what we're talking about
for
tonight, but
I know, but
no problem. Yeah.
I think it's important because you saw it. You were there through the whole thing. So okay,
so. Let me
Georgia.
see. I remember one time Aunt was by the river and you spoke up about how you felt about Renra reading the transcript of Bandit's case. Can you share again? Spoon, I'm not sure what I told him at that time. I can tell you what I was feeling at that time, but I'm not sure what I said to him. I couldn't listen to the whole thing.
It affected you it affected you very deeply.
It affected me in ways that I didn't know how to deal with.
Yeah.
I at first I was actually kind of angry with her for doing it.
Yeah.
But then I realized it wasn't her reading it that did it to
She
me.
wasn't exploiting something.
No,
She was
no.
pointing out an
She
exploitation.
was trying to prove to people that were
And she,
insisting that it didn't happen
right.
or that it wasn't as bad as everybody said it was. And then unfortunately, when Telescope got the copy that he did, it wasn't complete. So, and it wasn't in order. Telescope tried, and I'm incredibly grateful to this day that he read what he had.
He
But
brought it to a bigger audience.
right, but he didn't have the
And
whole thing either. And if you read the whole thing, it was there's a child did not make that up. That's just not. You can't say a child made that up. You with the detail that was in that report, there is no way in hell that a 14-year-old or 15, maybe by the time, I don't know how old she was by the time all that was taken, there was no way she could have made that up. And people weren't being honest. People didn't want to hear it. Not a lot of people heard Ren Ra reading it. But Spoon, I don't remember what I said to him. If you want to tell me what I said, I'll speak to that, but I don't remember what I said to Aunt. That was a kind of a traumatizing moment for me.
okay.
And I I listened and watched it and cried. How
Yeah,
can you not? But
right.
but I did it because I felt like I was witnessing for her or something, and I don't know if that I don't know how to word it the
I
right
did
way,
too.
but
Kind of felt
I
like we were standing in for her,
yeah.
standing next to
So
her, standing beside her, standing behind her, whatever.
yeah, and everyone is different. Like I said, everyone reacts differently to things and situations, and this is a really touchy subject, and
Yes,
this has been a long, hard year, y'all. it
it really has.
in so many ways for so many people, you know. So
Okay. We don't have any more questions at the moment.
I'm looking through.
Okay.
all right, I guess the show's over, y'all.
Um,
Are
yeah, I
we
mean,
still talking about Sabrina in the chat? Did he have a
some of it, yeah.
relationship with her? Um, oh, I had seen something. Telescope had said, Ant's sole purpose of the interview with Sabrina was to get back at Red for talking about Jazzy the cat. Um, here's and you might be right, you might not, and everyone has a different opinion on that. I know, but the way I look at it, this is my response to that: is Sabrina had a sole purpose, and Sabrina's purpose was to talk about her abuse in her life. And so I support her being able to do that and having the strength and the guts to do that. And that's really as far as I look at it, because I support her in that, y'all, and she has that right. In whatever way it happened, it's how she did it and how she needed to do it. And I don't really dwell on his reason because I don't know it. I'm not inside him. I'm not inside his brain. But I know that she needed it, and to me that's
Um,
important.
Mike
So
D.
bas-
Mike
so
D.
basic.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead. So basically, whatever motivation Aunt had becomes irrelevant because what she was able to do was so much more powerful and meaningful to her that
That
his
yeah,
motivation didn't matter.
Very well said. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
and I can't. I'm not going to presume to speak to his motivation either. It
Okay, fair
Exactly.
Yeah,
enough.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
Mike D says, did he have a relationship with her? No, she's gay, and she said that
We're
on the
talking about
interview.
Sabrina.
Yeah,
Okay.
she said that in the interview.
Let's see. Did I get it up in time here? Spoon said, as I remembered at the time, Aunt was encouraging Renoir to get those transcripts and read them online. I remember GACA saying they shouldn't have been online. And then there's
Yeah, that
uh,
was her initial gut
Yeah,
immediate reaction. Absolutely. It was traumatizing in a way to hear that,
yeah,
but people can change their minds too as they.
I was angry, and I was actually angry at Renra. I was
yeah,
angry in the beginning.
right, right,
Um,
yeah, and she just wanted to say thank you for having the courage to speak up for the survivors.
you're welcome, Spoon. Why did
um
he,
oh
Mike D? So why did he ban people for it? He banned people for being in chats of people that he said were talking derogatorily about him. Does that make sense? The cat thing, the raping of his mother, the things that really upset
Raping
me.
of his mother.
Yeah, that was a threat. That was a threat from Red's chat as well. And so, and where I figured something out today, and some others might have as well. A lot of what was referenced today happened. Do you remember, Doofus, when you got pineapple bombed by Red's chat? Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Remember that night?
yeah,
A lot of that was happening in the chat.
yeah.
A lot of that was happening in the chat. And
I don't remember who I was interviewing, but I was focused on the
right.
interview
And there was
and
absolutely at that time, I think Summer came in at the end of it, but Sissy was
was the
here
only
alone.
mod. Yeah.
Sissy was here alone, and it was, I mean, the screen was going constantly with their shit. And at that time, from what I understand today, we should have said we're never coming on here again, and blamed you for for allowing it. I happen to feel, I don't think your platform is, you're not a live streamer as far as I'm concerned. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
No.
this is a news show that you do.
It's
Um,
a podcast talk show.
and you did it
That
a lot. You've done it a long time before 1776, Red Ants, anybody
yeah.
came up. Um, Hang on, I'm reading AP's.
Oh, AP's in here?
Yeah,
Hello, Anarchy
AP,
Princess.
stay for a minute. I want to read this. Yeah, I mean, AP, um, he, DUFUS did address the yeah, I know, I see it. Wait, we're not gossiping, right? You're not feeling like we're gossiping about your life?
I don't know. The chat's going by too quick. I just looked over at it and it's just shooting by.
But anyway, I guess the point was that we should have called you out, or said something.
Something happened. I just got notification. Somebody just attacked here. Channels are read only. I can't reply.
Yeah.
All right.
Silly us. We thought we could be adults.
We have been. We have been.
I wouldn't presume to police your channel any more than I would Ants or Reds if I listen to him, which I don't, or Telescopes or APs or anybody else's. That's I have the option of just not tuning in. You know, we had some concerns that we discussed with you privately, and what happened that night in particular, unless you modded 20 people when that was going on, there was no stopping it.
Yeah, it was a mass attack. Looking back on it, you know, and I wasn't aware it was going on.
Well, you're doing a show. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not. You know, watching the chat the whole time.
Right, and I like going to those channels that are chat centric. You know, that there's one person basically, and he or she's talking with the chat back and forth. Summer does that really good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's needed.
But that's not what I do, and that's not, you know, that's
right.
not...
Mater, that may be part of it, but I'm not wrong. We may both be right. You may be right on what you just said because he went to Telescope's channel because he's mad at DUFUS because DUFUS went to Telescope's channel, but he did mention what went on in this channel particularly, not over at just Telescopes.
And sorry, man, if you know, I've been wondering for a long time what I did to get you and AP upset, and I've said it aloud. So whatever it was, I'm sorry. AP, same thing. I'm sorry. The intent of this channel is not. The intent of this channel is to talk about news stories that maybe don't get talked about enough, and to let people have a voice that want to come on here and talk. So
yeah,
you know.
And I'm gonna say here that, you know, that once again, this isn't another one of those selfish kind of opportunities for me to do something that's therapeutic and that I'm trying to do in my life, which is, you've given me an opportunity to step out of my comfort zone and face one of my biggest fears, you know, talking in front of people and like, you know, and it's been so amazing and a good
and because
thing.
of that, you were able to stand up, get on Telescope's chat, and stand up to Wizzy when you needed to.
Yeah, and I talked to you right after, Georgia.
Yeah,
I was euphoric.
She was.
Not because, you know, I owned him, he owned me, whatever.
Right.
But because I just got a chance to speak and talk about how I felt and how I thought about things that happened. You know, that's it. That's all
correct.
a lot of people want.
And to correct him when he says something that's not true about you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. Have my say. Like it's a good opportunity, and we all watch different people for different reasons. Aunt live streams, and another person, you do news, and Vaughn rants and talks to Chad and gives us Vaughnisms and Vontent, and other, different people do
Content.
different things. Yes, and you know, we get something from each of those things, but we all need sometimes a place to go where we can be heard, whether it's in chat or on a panel, and that's the truth. Like we need that. And Lisa, I want to say also, Lisa Hurley asked, where do Georgia and I stand with Ant and AP now? Um, I this is how I feel. I support them. I support them in doing what it is that they want and need to do, and I I want the best for them, and I care about them. That's where I stand.
Where
I'm
I stand is they're both incredibly uh, they've got great charisma in front of a camera. They're both incredibly entertaining, and they're both incredibly effective at protesting. And that's my observation. As far as if they come on the show again or not, that's all going to be up to them. If they watch the show again or not, that's all going to be up to them. Because I'm not involved in their activism. I just report on it, and there's a big difference.
I am a admitted AP simp. I adore her. I worship the ground she walks on. Even if she's mad at me, which I hope she's not now. Ant can do whatever Ant needs to do, and that's his prerogative. I'm a little bit sad about it. I'm a little bit angry about it, but when it comes down to it, it's his channel and his
Yeah.
feelings. So,
And plus, while we're talking about all this, Telescope has a different perspective on Ant. There are other people that have different perspectives. I'm not going to not talk to those people because we don't necessarily feel
dear
the
God,
same way about Ant.
if I didn't talk to
Just
people
to get
that,
all that out, just to make sure we all understand
right,
that
if I didn't talk
we're
to people
adults
that,
and we can talk to who we want.
exactly, like there are so many, I mean, I would have never spoken with Lori Arnold. And because we had literally nothing in common. And there's a lot of you in here right now that I have
I
nothing
need to pay attention to the chat. You keep talking because I get
nothing
focused and listen to you. And
nothing in common with, and absolutely adore, as I've gotten to know, you know from Summer to Lisa Hurley and Nurse D. And yeah, Nurse D, I understand that's one of the things that Telescope has said that upsets Ant, and I don't blame him for that. What I have a problem with is telling people where they can and can't go. I mean, it's certainly his prerogative. It's also my prerogative to say, all right, then I'm out.
And it keeps fracturing, y'all. It keeps fracturing and splintering. And if it keeps going, it's like I told Georgia today, we're all literally going to end up by ourselves. Like, because nobody's perfect. Everybody has problems, and then whatever. And we're going to, I mean,
we had
like,
the experience with Sparky that fractured part of our group off. We've got this now with Ant, and I'm not
starting on Sundays, I'm going to be having a panel that is for women only. and I'm just going to kind of sit back and observe and learn. Um,
You're
th-
brave.
this Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday.
So
The Sunday after that, is when I'm going to start the panel. So a week from Sunday, and one of the reasons is because Sparky was starting something that got fractured out,
right.
and I think at least once a day, or at least once a week, somewhere there ought to be a panel where just
Hey, Mutt,
just just the ladies are going to be talking. So
Mutt.
I'd like to invite you two. I
Okay.
want Baby. I'd like to have Baby. I'd like to have Lisa Hurley, and I'd like to have a couple from the right wing, if they would be willing to come on and just talk about womanhood.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Not the
Okay.
shit
All right.
show.
All right. So
Mutt,
that's coming in.
Mutt,
That's coming a week from Sunday. Go ahead. Go ahead
Mutt,
and attack.
Mutt, I would be happy to address this. If you want me to. I don't hate you. I don't hate anybody.
Maybe.
And the reason I got offended by you. Okay. I got offended with your stance
Thank you, Lisa.
on the LGBTQ community. And at the same time, you went after Lolo. It didn't have anything to do with anything about AP. I wanted to talk to you about it, and then I got really pissed. And so getting pissed, I don't think is productive at all in trying to have a conversation when I'm feeling emotional about something. But and I don't hate you. You know, do I agree? I'm not sure there's any beliefs that you and I would believe in that are I don't know. I believe in God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. So maybe we could agree on that.
That's a great start.
But I don't have any hate for you, and it wasn't about. I don't remember what you said about AP, but what threw me from the get go is the LGBTQ comments. I have a gay daughter. I have many, many, many friends and family that are in that community and suffer because of it every single day. And so, well, Shannon, are you calling us eighth grade stuff or the chat? Anyway, Mutt, I don't hate you. And we can talk about that if you like further.
Shannon, it's not eighth grade stuff, hon. But it is, yeah, getting the fills out tonight. That's exactly it. Because,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the whole
Because we
situation
know
does suck.
we're all like real people. Yes, we're online and it's a fantasy world, bizarro world, whatever, but we are all real people. And there's a lot of, there's a lot of, some people heard, and we thought, some people might have questions. So we thought it'd be a good idea to just let people. I hear you, Shannon. Yeah. Yeah. You've
Oh,
already kind of been through things.
no,
And
but I heard that myself from your mouth on a live stream. But that we don't have to agree on that.
oh,
Macaulay, thank you.
Have to start.
I need your.
Go ahead.
I just remembered. I just remembered that I told Lori Arnold I would remind you, Doofus, that you're going to be on her channel Saturday night at 7.
That's exactly right. I'm going to be
Yes.
doing Lori's going to interview me.
Oh, awesome.
That's going to be good.
I don't know if it will be or not.
It's going to be interesting. Bring your pickles.
I'm not.
I'm gonna address Newfie Girl, if that's okay. I'm sad that you think any of this is funny, but I'm not surprised. And if you think it's funny or that he's going to be upset or throw a quote shit fit, then maybe just keep that to yourself.
Newfie girl, I have a
Thanks, my
question
darling.
for you. Since you're here and talking and chat, and I've asked you this before, but you ignored me. You said well deserved for what he has done. So if we were to all get what we deserve, that's interesting, right, Newfie? I wondered. Let me ask you this: why, why on the video that G Abbott posted about, behind the scenes where you and Freedom Pig, I mean, no, Freedom Ninja, where you and Ninja were talking about you wanted me so bad. You wanted to get my info so bad. I'm seriously curious. Why?
Why do you care,
I,
Newfie, about any of
I'd
us?
love to know. I'd love to know because you spoke about it for several minutes. I was like, wow, I didn't realize, I was so important, but I'm just very curious and I'd really appreciate an answer. I really would. Thanks.
And Newfie, if you really make $7 million a day, ship me down just 1 million, and I'll be good for the entire rest of the
Let me
DUFUS career.
listen. She makes 7 million a day. About like Mona has a 183.3 IQ. Okay.
Christ on a
Okay.
crack.
Hey, no, there are people who make a whole crap ton of money every day. So if
Yeah.
she's one of
I
them,
don't think she's one of them.
help.
It's just a gut feeling.
Are
I've
you?
got a charity called Barry's Kids. We do a Labor Day. No,
Hello, Daddy.
all
Are
Ooh,
right.
you?
daddy.
Are
We had
you
to have a
real?
little bit of fun here, don't we? No
Are
doxing
you,
in chat. No, 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 no. Absolutely no doxing in chat.
um,
Uh,
are you real? Said it very well. Basically that um that where did it go?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
That no matter what happens, basically she would love all of us or he, I don't know. Even after all the splinters, I just want to say no matter what happened today, I will continue to love each of you and I will stand behind DOA, AP, Lori, and J Met, even though they're all going their separate ways. We all knew this would
Nice.
happen.
That's a great way to look at it.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Yep. Yep.
There was also something else I saw.
Don't you?
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Nothing.
What did you read? Let's tell us. What did you think?
No.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about pickles?
He's reading
No.
stuff he doesn't
Okay.
want to.
No. She says Newfie needs to get red balls out of her mouth. So that's why I didn't want to read it.
Oh, I agree. I agree. Thank you for. Sorry, I put you on the spot like that. Susan Knox says I would also like a larger conversation around what people really think should happen to convicted and time served pedophiles. That's a deep, like a really sober, serious conversation because people are different. I mean, Susan, if you ask me, um, I am a survivor, and if I'm going to be very honest with you, I don't think they should get time at all. I think they should all
No
be killed.
kidding, don't you?
That's how I feel. And I know that's really
You feel they all
out
should
there.
be killed?
Yes, I
No,
do.
well, that's not. I don't know if that is necessarily all that out there. I'm not. There may be a whole lot of people that feel the same way.
Rehabilitated. I mean, what are we supposed to do with them?
They can, and
But we can't.
they should never be
Yeah.
able to get into the position that Bandit and Ledford and other people were in. And
Let's talk
that's
about
the
this.
problem with it.
Let's talk about this next Wednesday
Yep.
night or next Tuesday
Yeah,
night.
absolutely.
Oh no. 2 weeks
Right.
in 2 weeks because we'll have fun next next week because it's
Anybody,
Valentine's Day.
anybody else have any questions before
Yes,
we?
Troll Central says red has balls.
She-Hawk, I like that.
She-Hawk, castration doesn't work because unfortunately there are many ways to molest and hurt people. You would have to pretty much cut off legs, arms. You know, I'm just being blunt here, y'all. Sorry.
Ben
And then
Elliott,
we'll get on to it later. Sorry.
Ben Elliott, what about what ant video, and what about it? Answer: I only made jokes about not eating his cat and supported his. I hear that, Telescope. Once you left,
Hold on a second. Somebody had a question about why I don't cover the J6 thing more.
oh, we just
And,
haven't talked about seven. We can do that
Because
if
it's boring. There's nothing
because
to cover, really.
and Rooster does a really good job of covering that. If you don't know, Rooster.
I will say that Glory B did just a quick. She did a video. Was it yesterday or the day before? Saying all the J6 prisoners had their religious stuff rights taken away and visitation, and gave out the number for people to flood the line again to complain, and come to find out it was only one prisoner, and he probably did something to, he probably
Make
broke
that
the rules,
happen.
I would think. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there you
But
go. There's a J6 update.
but yeah, I don't. Something about Mickey and something. Um, I don't know. Could you repost that, whoever it was? I'm sorry, it disappeared. Um, but I want to make sure if we have some information, we get it out.
Laura, the court stuff is interesting, and I'd like to look into that more. I'd also like to look into the money. There's been a lot of money poured into that group that was supposed to go to prisoners,
That is so
and
true. Yeah.
heard prisoners complain that they weren't getting anything. I don't
Okay.
know, that would take an investigative reporter to look at that, and maybe somebody has. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I just I don't know. The J6 thing it seems so pointless. I mean, so I haven't really given it a whole lot of attention. Um,
Yeah.
that's just that's my answer.
I want to say that I have heard Telescope specifically denounce what was said about the cat and the mom. I heard it with my own ears several times, actually. So,
Okay.
and I didn't hear him getting
No,
on the bandwagon with it. I didn't.
I did. Whenever he's been on my channel, he's never said anything about the cat or Aunt's mom. So I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know. I've heard him say stuff in his channel. I don't think I've heard him say anything about the cat or Aunt's mom, but I've heard him. Not
Um,
like Aunt.
Telescope, you might find this as amusing as I did today. when I said I didn't understand, when I said to somebody in Vaughn's chat I didn't understand why I had been blocked, I was told that maybe I had been on your panel one too many times, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I was up there once. And then in the middle of the night when Telescope was sleeping, I was on with Summer and CKM. But yeah, I didn't make it a habit.
I'm not going to make excuses, but at the same time, I will say, being in those environments of protest and conflict does impact you. Um,
It
I
does.
don't know.
It does.
But I don't know as he has. I don't know if he has been in those situations
He
here
has
of
been
late.
in situations before, and again, not making excuses because I won't. The court stress for all of them. Remember, these are
Has to be real.
basically
Yeah.
four
Yeah.
people consistently on the ground that have been hit with legal shit. Ant's been thrown in jail 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. People
With
lying to get him put in jail.
right,
Yeah.
and I can only imagine the stress on all 4 of them. All 4
Right.
of them.
Right.
Lori would
And then,
be
yeah,
mad.
then you add in the bullying and the online threats from, let's face it, a crazy person who probably might not ever do anything because he's a coward, but his chat is a different story. He's working them up and
Right.
setting them loose on, they're all over the country. And you can say it was a sick joke or whatever you want, but let's be real. They've crossed way over the line a while back, and
And they've
that's a
actually
lot on a person. Like it is.
not
I get
not
it.
but followers have actually gone to people's houses, driven by, taken pictures, made online threats, to the point where several people have had to call the police. Where the
Hmm.
pictures of their homes were doxxed,
Yeah. Yeah.
their families, you know, their lives, their
My
red.
I want you ladies to know real quick. My chat is gone. Um,
Oh,
it has stopped,
Uh-oh.
and so I can't see anything being said. I don't know if
that,
Everyone
my
in chat, okay, Doofus. Everyone is saying, let Georgia and Cunning take over all your shows from now on forever. I'm
is that
joking.
what they're saying? Okay.
No, they're not. They're saying you're having a great hair day.
Oh, is it okay? Well, thank you.
yeah, Sandy
Thank
Foster
you,
is
chat.
absolutely right. They were successful alone, physically on the ground alone. Yeah, we supported in the ways that we could, but yeah, it's they absolutely were successful. You were
I am
right.
going to let you ladies take over for about 5 minutes. I got to run to the big
Little
boy
boy
farm.
Library.
to the library.
We'll be here.
Hey, Newfie girl, how about you talk like a grown up and not call Sandy names?
Newfie, why didn't you answer my question? Newfie girl, maybe you're full of shit. Did you answer my question, hon? Why do you want my personal information so bad? Hello? It's a simple question. Why do you okay, you missed my question, Newfie? Okay. Um I'll repeat it. In the video that G Abbott put out, you and um Freedom Ninja were talking for several minutes about wanting me and wanting my information so bad. Why? I'm just curious why.
Like, we weren't even doing Dufus's show then. We were just
No, I mean,
Why? Why was Cunning so important that you really wanted her? You really wanted to go after her.
Let's see, what else?
GB Packers, I am 100% an AP simp. 100%. I adore her. I worship the ground she walks on. I wish she was my daughter. I'm looking.
McCallie, you're welcome. I'm reading through chat. Or McKaylee. Anyway, hi, you're welcome. Thanks. Susan, you said Red's threats are ridiculous to anyone with half a wit. It was never a credible threat, was always stupid, silly, adolescent locker room talk. Much ado about nothing. So, to you, I hear you. That might be how it seems. However, I can tell you that the day I heard him say on his live, Cunning Stunt, I'm going to rape your daughter, it didn't feel that way to me. In that moment and at that time, my blood ran cold and my heart dropped to my feet, and it was horrible. It was awful. I don't know. And you just don't know. I mean, Red did drive across the country to drag an old woman down the street. So, none of us really know.
GB
Yeah,
Pack.
I mean, so I'm just saying.
I'm not ashamed. AP did not beat her son. She
Man, I wish I could see what's going on in chat.
told us several times she slapped her son. She did not beat him. He is twice as big as her, weighs twice as much, and was out of control. She literally slapped him one time. CPS was called in and said, "You've got to be kidding me." They were on her side. Guess why she pled guilty? Because someone who's sitting in this chat right now commenting called the court and told lies about AP that had nothing to do with the incident with their son. And she decided instead of fighting it, she would take it because she didn't want to lose her kids. And if you've never had an out of control 18-year-old, not you, Newfie girl, right? If you've never an
Yes,
out of
it's
control
you.
18-year-old that's 6'5" in your face calling you a bitch and you didn't slap him, you are Jesus.
Newfie girl, you admitted it. You admitted it. So don't deny it now. Come on. All we have to do, like, if we're just honest, like, whatever, just own it and then let's move past it.
100 times, Newfie. Why wouldn't you admit it now? You've said it 100 times. Yeah, you have.
Okay, so Newfie girl, it was a threat. You still haven't answered my question about why you're so interested in my personal information. Like, I mean, I appreciate it, but I don't date girls. So, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with it, but you're not my type anyway. So,
I do.
You do?
I do.
Well, then, hey.
Well, not necessarily successfully, but, Sorry, go ahead. Be serious. I'm sorry.
So your
You don't.
point was to scare a single mother of 3 children because you didn't like her. Why didn't you just keep out of it? You're in Canada. Why didn't you just say some really crappy things
And
about
see,
her?
Newfie,
About
that's what
every
I'm talking about. What do you deserve, Newfie? Like when we say that and we
right.
judge, what do you deserve, do you think? What do you think kind of karma is coming for you? Like, let's be real, you go out of your way to hurt people.
She
I
didn't do
mean,
any.
why?
She didn't do a thing to you. And what do you care?
My chat started back up.
You're
You
in.
live in Canada.
What do you care?
Canada.
She's evil. That's your opinion. You're welcome to it.
Newfie girl. Newfie, hun. Oh my goodness, honey. You're the one that's evil. Bam! There you go.
Yeah,
You
I'm not.
see
I'm not.
how easy it is? Like, come on. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, that's
Are you real?
whatever.
She absolutely did, and that's what I call evil. But I'm not. I'm not engaging that anymore.
Yeah, and I was just throwing back what you said because, uh, all we can say is the feeling we get from people. We don't get to judge if they're evil, if they're going to hell or heaven, what they should do,
Right.
we don't get to do that. So,
And
I mean,
well, now Newfie's been rejected by Red, like we've been disassociated from Ant. So, gee, who's any better? We're all the same, Newfie.
yeah.
And I saw Baby in here. Baby, I'm going to be doing a panel for ladies starting the Sunday after the Super Bowl, and I would really like if you could join us, if at all possible. You don't have to answer on the chat. You can hit me up in the what's it called, Discord, or you can email me at americandufus@gmail.com. Okay,
Right?
sorry, ladies. Go ahead.
You could give me a wrench. Summer and I will wrench the hell out of that chat. Right, Summer?
You ladies want wrenches in
No,
here?
no, I don't want a
Okay.
wrench.
All right. Okay.
You have
Screw
very clear.
it.
My wrench finger would be out of control in this chat.
In this chat. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
But thank you
if you
anyway.
change your minds, let me know.
yeah.
Jeff. Uh, no, I'm not discriminating against men at all. Actually, I'm a man, and I'll be here. There'll be a whole bunch of men in the chat, and the reason I'm doing it is because I go to other channels, and it's male dominated in a lot of chats, and I'm gonna have a place at least once a week where it's just the ladies.
Bye, Mutt. Thank you for slipping out before you do the wrong thing.
Bye, Celtic. Bye.
That's always a good move.
Thanks
Yeah.
for being here.
That's a smart move, Mutt.
I wish I did that more often, actually.
Slip out before I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can think
Yep.
All right.
No, Mike D, I'm not throwing you aside. Well, yeah, I am. I'm throwing you all aside for
I mean,
one panel, one day a week.
Barry has the right idea. I mean, he's going to have more access to women than any other guy I know around right now. So I think he's pretty smart.
So now DOA's here, and you and I can't see him, Cunning, because he's got us blocked.
Oh, well, that's
I
cool.
know you do, Jeff, but you do have women on your panel, but this one's going to be all women. So DOA's here?
Apparently, I can't see him.
Okay.
I'm
I
blocked.
can't either.
Yeah.
But wish you nothing but the best, dude. You're an incredibly charismatic and entertaining figure and a very effective protester, and I wish you nothing but the best.
absolutely the most effective I've seen in a long time in any movement.
And I care about you, and I wish the best for you. And I hope you know that I haven't done anything to purposely hurt you. I mean that. So
This thing
best
just
of
keeps
luck.
my studio keeps restarting. I hope it's probably going to glitch for those of you watching on replay. If you're seeing glitches, if you're watching in the morning and you're seeing glitches, I apologize. My studio keeps cutting out. I hope it's not. I hope the streams are running. Nobody's complaining about it in the chat, so I'm
Yeah, it's going
it's
fine on my.
do what?
It's going fine on my end.
Yeah, it's going. Everything appears fine. I just keep getting these notifications that this is disconnected. That the chat stopped. Blah blah blah. Anyway, we're good.
DOA. I don't know if you saw earlier in Vaughn's chat. You have Cunning's number. If you'd like to reach out to her, she will call me, and the three of us can talk for real if you'd like. Just putting that out there.
Barry, we can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Ooh, bummer.
Let's read his lips.
Let's do bad lip reading.
Bad lip reading. Yes, I love that. Oh, Cunning is a beautiful and amazing woman. And I think she's smart. And Georgia is even smarter. Yes, I absolutely agree with her. Yes.
I'm going to take a bubble bath with Georgia and Cunning. Tune in at 8:00.
I'm going to watch Twilight now. Wait, what?
God. Yeah, right on a legal pad and hold it up to the camera. Lip reading with DUFUS. I don't know what the.
La la la.
Na 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 na.
You know, I hope. Thank you too, Susan.
Games.
I hope this did help, y'all.
What?
I hope tonight helped. You know, or at least was informative in some ways. And
I don't know. I hope it did. Made her knock it off.
is he writing us a note? I think he is.
Who?
No. No. Sorry. Damn it. Okay, hold on. It's
Laura.
backwards. The what?
Wait, backwards. Backwards.
It's backwards.
Oh my God. The something
The
has
box has
gone
closed out. The chat box, no,
backwards.
our stuff has closed out. Ah, damn it. You have closed out. You're ready to go by. No. Okay. Hi. I'm horrible at charades. Okay, Georgia, you go.
I'm not
I'm
playing
not good. Okay.
Okay, talk to me, DUFUS. Can you type in chat?
I am.
Oh, crap.
Something about his booty. The last word was booty.
I have a delicious booty.
Booty. That's it. we're Georgia, we're really good at this.
I'm trying to read the chat, Sandy, but I don't see Ant at all. So I don't know. Oh, you asshole. Do you read that, Cunning? Cunning. Read that. Oh, God, now she's gone.
Okay, here I'm back. I'm sorry, I muted myself.
Put the sign up again.
I am not muted. What does that mean? I didn't think he was. He is never going to ask us to play charades ever.
Ever again. We suck. I suck at Pictionary too, by the way. Categories.
His mic has gone out. Yes. Yeah. Something about purple underwear. Oh. Was that the booty stuff? Okay. The audio in my studio shut down. Yes.
Shit something.
Oh, doofus. I bet that's why we can't hear you. Yes. We figured it out. That was hard. That was fun.
I know.
Blew a fuse. It probably did blow a fuse from tonight. It was the pickle jokes.
Marching to Mars. When did anybody say we wanted you to take us seriously? This was a conversation and a hell of a lot of funny at the end.
I do not want you to take me seriously. Please do not.
Please. Where's
right?
Eric?
We should play charades again, right? Peace, love, and unity asks, Barry, can you type in chat? No, he says no. Oh, you can see him. Never mind. I don't have to say that. This is kind of, it's game night. Yes, it's game night.
Doofus wants to say thank you for coming. Wait, for clicking on.
Don't forget about Saturday night at 7 p.m. on Lori Arnold's stream.
Yep.
Doofus will be there and being interviewed.
Namaste.
Sunday night is Sunday night is Super Bowl.
Yep.
Tomorrow is the guy coming on.
The guy.
Yes, the guy. I can't remember his name.
Melvis.
Yes, awesome. He'll be on tomorrow, so don't forget. Join us. Join Doofus for that. And let's see what else. Yeah, and then next Tuesday and other things and blah blah. I don't know. That's it. Yeah.
Doofus, we're coming on Valentine's night. Is that what you said? Okay. We'll do something stupid. Okay. I only remembered the namaste part, and I don't know the Catholic part because I'm not Catholic. And peace out. God bless everybody. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Oh, in a world that's dark, be a light.
Amen.
I love that part. Yes. Thank you, Doofus.
Good night, everybody.
Mwah.
Good.
Y'all, thanks so much, everybody, for being here.